just for the fun of it, I'm going to do a bit of vehicle combat explanations here. Just because I'm nerding out. Okay. Let me show you the vehicles. This is they're obviously in a big combat situation right now. Against some reptilians on a desert planet. This was funny. The rocket launcher guy rolled a nat 1 and blew themselves up and blew a bunch of their reptilians out of there. Okay. So the vehicles. Let me explain the vehicle. She's stuck over here. She's not driving. She's stuck in the cannon, shooting the cannon. The handling is the drive of the vehicle, and this one has a -1 die rank. So when they roll, they'll have a -1, or I'll add the 1 die rank to the difficulty of whatever they're trying to do, driving this vehicle. It's an APC, it's kind of, and its wheels, I should probably put here, the wheels here, this description is just me as a GM deciding what, I should probably actually add all terrain to this APC, but I'm going to say it's a shoddy one, so it's just got wheels. The comms is the comm links, and it has none, right? It's just a old tech, simple, cheaply made kind of World War II style, vehicle in a sci-fi on a Tatooine-like planet called Raptorine. Okay, its defense is 10, so it's relatively easy to hit, right? It's got a high profile. It's a vehicle. Armor some, so it has a save of D12 and D4. So whenever it gets hit, it gets a D12 plus a D4, so it's armored. A D12 is basically plate mail, robots, a civilian car, anything with metal. The D4 is like it's being even more enhanced. Its hull is 6, so it has basically 6 hit points. So if it were to take 6 hit points from a bullet or whatever, it would, damage it. Now, just to jump down to parts, if it does actually take beyond this armor save and then takes damage, I would randomly roll where it takes the damage. And actually, it's not supposed to have a 0 there. Let me fix that. Not supposed to have a 0 there. Unless it... Okay. If the vehicle was hit and took more than 6 damage, I would roll where it got hit. So obviously it could take out the engine, could take out the drives, which is to me is the wheels, the axle or the wheels, whatever's the motivators are making it move. Crew, what I would do here is I would actually take whoever's the most crew, I would say you take damage. They still get an armor save, so it would have to pierce the armor of the vehicle and their armor. So it's pretty rare that the crew will get hurt, but I do that. If this turns to 0, then there's going to be no armor save the next time. And then they're going to take full damage because they're being exposed or whatever. Fuel tank, yeah, that'll blow up, I guess, if it goes to 0, or they lose their fuel. It's draining. Cargo is, so all this stuff would get damaged and destroyed. This is the cargo section right here. And turret, obviously, if that took more than 6, they would not be able to fire anymore. The dual cannons is right here, and it gets a +1 die rank, meaning, so I gave it the +1 die rank because it's two cannons. I don't add another shot or whatever. I just add another, a little bonus based on having two cannons. It only does D10. I know that's low, right? D10 considered low since this is sort of a big, mounted weapon. I just feel it's right for some reason. My weapon damage on my mounted weapons kind of barely goes up beyond a sniper rifle is a D12, like the 50 cal sniper rifle. So to me, the D10, why do I do D10? It's auto 3. Well, I kind of focus on them having a little more armor piercing. This is armor piercing. So whenever someone does an armor save, they take 2 off of that. This could be a little higher, but I was thinking, this is a low-tech, crudely made, soft bullets, cheap vehicle. Wild shots, etc. So that's kind of the way I look at this vehicle. And any of these can be improved if you felt like this vehicle was much more advanced. The armor, the defense would probably remain the same. The armor save could be a little higher if they enhanced it. Maybe a little more structural hit points. This could be an auto 5. It could be a D12, an AP3. That would be very devastating. Right there, just that little bit. Parts are the same if you improved it. Okay, so here is a stealth armored light vehicle. Now this one has pretty good handling, +1 DR. Wheels tough, so it's actually made for this desert environment. So this is definitely much better than the APC as far as stealth armored light vehicle. And it has radio, it has comlinks, so you can actually use the comlinks to thwart any sort of targeting of your vehicle by electronics, not human beings or eyesight, but definitely like you can do cloaking. That's what the comlinks is. You roll that. If you roll really high, you can add it to your defense only against, electronic targeting type stuff, robots, or against being detected by other comlinks. It's got a defense of 16 because it's see here, I just kind of wrote these are my notes on the vehicle. Desert camo, low profile. So it's just harder to hit. Each of these, a 12 is generally average, and for our APC, I made it a 10 because of its high profile, so it's easier to hit. This one's got low profile, that's +2, and the desert camo +2, so it goes from 12 to 14 to 16. That's my basic thinking. Save D12, so I figured, it's going to be lightly armored metal, not have any additional armor. Hull 4, so pretty fragile here. It's just harder to hit, but boy, if it does get hit, it's going to, a chance of being damaged. The cargo is just what it has on it. You can add more if you want. It's just, I kind of just common sense what I think what it would feel have. And it has fuel cells. Oh, this one is sort of so old that it uses refuel. It uses gas, or whatever, some kind of liquid fuel. Parts, right? So if you do get hit, same thing, takes damage. And a little extra thing here, desert camo +1 to defense. Oh, wow. So that should be, okay, that's right there. I made it +2 technically, but whatever, that's fine. Low light anti-glare windows. So if you're looking out and scanning visually, you get a +2 die ranks to your just looking around type of thing. So that's the vehicle. And yeah, this one doesn't have any armaments on it. It's meant for scouting, really, staying distance and stuff. Yeah, and they're fighting, these other guys and vehicles. Everything's right there. Combat is infantry and vehicles together. No big deal there. Let me go over to, this is going to be crazy. I'm going to go over here. Ships. So the ships in this game are right there in the game. And these are all different variations of ships. And guess what? You can make ships. You just put them together, cut out whether you do printables or VTT, and you create your ship. However you want to design it, and I get all kinds of different parts to available here. Let me show you. This is ship interior. I have all these for basic ships, but I have more. There's space station. You can use these or for a space station. As long, and there's even outpost, which has sort of more you can use for ships or space stations or mining facilities or whatever. Most of this is ship interior, but I'm always adding more stuff based on the campaigns or whatever. This one right here is for ogres, big space ogres, and they use like cannonball type cannons, and I made their things. I scaled these up obviously because they're bigger, and whether obviously if you do a printout, you might have to figure that out on your own. Obviously in VTT you can easily scale these things. And now this thing next to it is the stats. Let me show you the stats. So it's really easy to create stats for if you're just familiar with the stuff. I can easily just write this stuff out. This is an older version. So handling is 16, which is 12 minus 16 is 4. So half of that is 2 die ranks. So the handling on this is actually a -2 die ranks because that represents it being, it's a slow, unwieldy ship. And is that going to update the... No, it's not. It's not going to update the actual... I got to go back in here and update the actual ship. Ogrig Trawler. Oh, it's updated here. Okay, so this is more updated. That's a little bigger, but that's okay. But so what I do is, this is, like what's it called? This thing. What is this thing called? Tiles. These are just tiles, and I will take a screenshot of that and then make an actual like token out of it. But I use the token just for the stats. I mean, you can use whatever you want in a VTT, but I use it to have the stats next to it. When I pop open this thing actually in the game, I will go and grab, and this is just my own way of doing things. And these are available too as the assets. But I will grab the one single image of it and use it in the game along with the smaller version for the token. It's just easier. And the reason I like to use the tile is so it's much easier for the players to run around on it. It's like it's literally a dungeon map, right? And then the tile here is just for the stats. Oops, let me switch over to this guy. And this is to give me the stats. So the stats are -2 die ranks. Bulk freighter, just remind me what it is. Comms has 0 because it's ogres. They don't really use comms that much. They don't care. And their cannons are not electronic. They're just by sight. They just have it in them to be able to do that. Their defense is 10, so it's easy to hit this ship. It has very good armor and a hull, right? D12, D10, because it's thick ogre steel ships. Hull 10, so that's pretty thick. The cannon is very dangerous. It's D12 plus D6, so it's very heavy, kind of like a powered heavy cannon. It should be -1 die rank. Let me update that over here. -1 die rank to hit. Oops, -1 die rank to hit. Let me just make a note there. Because they're primitive heavy cannons. That's all they are. The parts, obviously, if you do hit them, the controls is the controls on the ship. Cannon 1, Cannon 2, cargo, engines, and drives. That's it. And life support I consider life support to be sort of a default thing that's just sort of rot throughout each ship, so I don't really worry too much about that. They do have one door in case this breaks open. So if this breaks open or this breaks open, they're going to lose air and die pretty quickly. So they don't have very much safety stuff. Here's their cargo. And they got a bunch of silly stuff in there. Ogre Grog, die 4. How many do they have? Heals 10 hit points, but -D4 with rest. Maybe you get sick or something, whatever. But you can, anyway, little details there. So that's how I do ships, man. And let me show you. The game is really your ships and your characters are all in the same thing. You don't have to like separate them out. You have them all happening at the same time. Let me show you in this game, which I don't know. I only know a couple of sci-fi games, and most of them just don't have this. As far as I know. You correct me if I'm wrong, please. Let me see if this one has. So in this one, look at that. As you can see, their ship came in. They went exploring here and found these scary behemoths, hibernating in this derelict mining freighter. They went exploring in there. They tried to scavenge both of the comlink arrays and failed miserably. That was pretty funny. Then here's an ogre trawler coming in, and they had to deal with that, fighting them off. They even got. I think the ogres got lucky and shot out their mess hall, took that out, and took out this. Now here they rescued the slaves, but see, you have a battle where you're fighting each other and parts of your ship are getting damaged and you have to run around. And they were so damaged that they were gone. They couldn't even repair them. That was how bad it was. But if this ship took a little bit of damage, they could run over there and repair it during the combat if they were so desperate. This is how awesome this game is. I mean, as far as having a sci-fi game where you get to have ship battles right in there. The dungeon map is now a ship. The battle map is a ship. It's a space station. It's just been a great. I love this game system. I mean, I know I made it, so there I am. I love it, but it's rules light, but there is some complicatedness to it. But the complicatedness is because of having to being expandable. Like one of the characters has 90, almost 100 glory points. Each one of them can not each one, but it can raise them up. He's been playing that character for 40 episodes now. He's getting stronger and stronger, but he's still vulnerable. He can't just fight gods, at this point. After 40 sessions, he's not a 10th level god killer, right? In other games. He's got some really powerful strengths. He's really good, but I can still take him out with a few, perfectly, aimed hits at him by space bandits or whatever. That's what I love about this game. You're still vulnerable, and you still get to develop those characters for a long time without worrying about them being overpowered. And yeah, right now they're fighting. Right now they're in that. Where am I on here? Yeah. I'm just going to show you again the slave caravan that they're dealing with. Because why would anyone want to fight to free slaves? That makes no sense in a pagan world. Anyway, so and they're not even their own family members. But now this is like, this guy has a lot, right? 93. He's super tough. He's only got 19 hit points. But he's got power armor, so his power armor save is D12, D4. So he is really tough to defeat, right? But he's only got 19 hit points, and I can still do criticals on him and mess him up. And his main strength, obviously, is that he's got his brothers and sister supporting him in this fight. Now, they're going to win this fight pretty easily, but they got some ogres jumping on him. But he's going to win. They're going to win. And the main reason they're going to win, too, is to me, these are all very low-level sort of creatures to fight. And I don't add a bunch of extra die ranks to their skills like they have. And they have inspired die ranks and they have skill die ranks. And I have not been really adding that many to these. They all just have like a +5 for their prowess, which is strength. I'm not giving them like a +2 die rank for their attack. Only because I'm still sort of feeling out as a GM how strong or weak the party is and what they can and can't handle. Now, obviously, they're getting more and more better at it, their skills, but I can still take them out. But the thing that killed me was the very first shot I did was this rocket launcher. I was going to try to take out one of their vehicles, and he rolled a nat 1 and blew up his own guys. And these are the slaves they're going to free or liberate. But they're being attacked right now. We'll see, if any of these guys can do any damage. And again, I don't have any extra bonuses for them. Just their ability score, their trait bonus. And I'm just keeping it chill. But if any of these rolled a couple of nat 20s and hit like some of their guys, they'll be in trouble, with a nat 20. And I can increase, these guys' skills and damage. But I'm just having a good time keeping it simple right now. I just want to test it out and feel how it goes with me keeping the basic stats. But they're going to be getting to a point where they're going to start encountering more professional, corporate, ships and trained soldiers and corporate security and some mutant marauders who are a little tougher. So I'm very anxious to get them to there. But they're having a great time. I'm having a great time. I can do spaceship and vehicle battles. It's all interchangeable with the characters. They're running around on the ships, on the floating platforms here in the atmosphere, on the ships, doing all kinds of fun stuff. Here's a space station. They had a big fight in here. They can see a ship can come in, board the space station, and start attacking. No problem. Like as far as assets, as far as setting that up. They even got a church set up in here. Yeah, we're Christians. They got a church. Freaking set, and the church is going to get more powerful. They just converted a small group of smuggler pirates who want to go to the church now. That's amazing. And yet here we are talking about all kinds of adventure, fighting, crazy stuff. See, you as a Christians can have fun adventures in space, planning a church, dealing with church issues. One of the characters created a slasher's character created a rap jingle advertisement to try to draw people in. Not really working very well, but there it is. When you walk into this area, you get the jingle advertisement. But what really got them saved is this. Do I have them in here? There's a group of pirates that are going to come here and help the church because they totally converted them, like big score. I didn't get a nat 20 score. And after they not only didn't kill them all, they disabled their ship, didn't even kill them, and decided to talk to them. And then they converted them. And they're like, what? You're going to not kill us? Is it? There it is. No, where are they? Darn it. Oh, here. This crew right here. See, this crew, they boarded this ship after they disabled it, and have saved these guys. And now these guys are going to be part of the church on Hydroscoop. I'm going to put them in here. Patoo. So these are the new church members. And I'm actually going to take the ship and bring it in there as well. And that ship, its thing is right here. Let me bring that in here. Oh, they got a couple ogres that they beat and have sort of, you can't really convert the ogres because they're kind of low intelligence, but they can kind of convert them, like make them more peaceful, and be guards. They're helpful. They're like Gamorrean guards in that sense. Low intelligence humanoids, but peaceful. So these 6 right here are converted Christians, or they're going to come to the church and support young Saint Leon and Miss Oh, now she's Mrs. Evangelist. She's married to young Saint Leon and Togatong. Very cool. Hydro Vitae Church. That's the name. So it's really cool, and I think they're going to convert this pirate smuggling space station, or at least be an accepted, tolerant church in the pirate smuggling sector. Not all these people are going to be Christian, obviously, or Christianized, and here's the thing: we're learning history through this. We're learning how the church did it in the past, and that's what we need to do in our role-playing games. Is think about it that way and get that psyche going. I'm really loving this. I'm wishing you guys would understand that you can have an entire RPG full of adventure, full of excitement, while getting your psyche realigned to evangelism and church planning. And in this, as a downtime, a fun time, you then can translate that to your own life. That's the point of this. It's not about hiding in this to do evangelism. It's about training in this to go out and do evangelism. As a YouTube channel, in your fellowship, as a group, creating a fellowship role-playing game group. Because think about it. You can take this and go to a convention and play it and invite people. Yeah, it's going to be tough, right? You're a Christian. You're going to be going up against Gen Cons or whatever. They're going to not want you there. Well, that's the whole point of this, is to create groups of Christians playing role-playing games that have Christianity in them, which is evangelism and church planning. And my games have that. My games have that. So help me support the games here. Check them out. I'm working on them. Like, they're in their 2nd edition sort of phase. I might do a 3rd, but not yet. They're all very playable. They all have all the full rules and everything. I'm tweaking like little things like weapon stuff and stuff like that, but nothing major. And I'm working on a backer kit now. I'm gonna release a backer kit with Christians in Space. It's got some epic campaigns in there, and that'll be on backer kit. So just go to my Discord or my website and follow me there, and I will be putting all that info as soon as I get a release. It's getting close. All right. So in the game of life, you Christian role-playing gamers, roll holy dice, man. Roll holy dice. It's so much fun. You're not missing out. It's awesome. It's really awesome. I feel like I'm cheating the Lord. Well, I'm not cheating the Lord, but I feel like I'm getting the best of both worlds. I'm getting to have my cake and eat it too. With this, I'm getting to be able to role-playing games and my faith and as a ministry, and I'm pushing it out to you that you can do the same. You can take my stuff and turn it into your own ministry. All right, in the game of life, roll holy dice.